So I am on a quest, the quest for the Holy Gambit Grail. I am attempting to win a game of chess with every single gambit. And I'm doing this all over on twitch.tv/vampirechicken. You can come and follow me, check on my progress as I go through all of these. But I was actually quite surprised to learn just how many gambits there truly are. And at this point, I actually have to give a huge shout out to community members Jamie CJ58 and Sobels, both of whom were able to scrape through the Lichess code and uncover just how many gambits there really are. And at least according to Lichess, there are 766 recognized gambits, and I'm going to try to win a game with every single one of them. So what you're about to see is this really cool triple pawn gambit that you can play in the Scandinavian Defense. So I hope you like it, and I'm going to leave some timestamps in the descriptions below. In this video, you're going to see me go through and give a little bit of the history of Kadas, who he was, and how many gambits are named after him. Then we're going to do some analysis of this really cool gambit, which has a really cool trap. And then last of all, you're going to see me play this on stream. So timestamps are available. A link to the spreadsheet is available, and I will see you guys for the next video. So there's this guy Kadas, and I guess he's a Hungarian chess player. He's probably retired now, or at least he's not an active player anymore. And he's famous for the Kadas opening, which is 1h4. But I guess he's about 2300 strength, and he plays all sorts of wacky stuff, including 1h4. So if you go here, you can find all sorts of gambits in the database with his name on it. This is the Kadas opening. Oh, and here sometimes known as the Deprez opening. And so this is like a Hungarian name, so hopefully I'm saying it not too horrible. But wow, look at all these moves. Yeah, look at all the theory. There's so much theory here to be studied. And they steal this from wikibooks, I guess. But okay, so he's famous for this. So if he's the guy that plays h4, you know it's going to be some wacky stuff. And for example, this has some name. This is a gambit, the Schneider Gambit, for some reason. I don't know why. And there's some other wacky stuff. It's like if e5, one of the ones Lichess recognizes is d4. Is it this? Oh, this is the Kadas Gambit within the Kadas opening. Like if you do this randomly, you can find all sorts of random openings. There was some gambit like here. This is a Kadas Gambit too. Like you find the Kadas Gambit everywhere. So yeah, if you kind of just look around Lichess, you'll find that if you do anything that's wacky. But the one that I'm interested in, the particular Kadas Gambit that I'm interested in trying to farm for today, this is what I'm actually going to try to get in the pool and try to knock out. So I'm going to be playing black. I'm going to play d5. If they capture, instead of taking back right away, I want to play knight f6. This is the secondary move, but it's very common. Then if you go on the masters list, and hopefully I'm playing some good people, so hopefully they play mostly d4, because if you do play anything other than d4, this won't work. And white has quite a lot of moves. You can bring a knight out. You can give this check. You can do a whole lot of things. You can play c4. But d4 is the most common move in master database. And from here, I did a little, and when I see these gambits, I don't know. It's one of these things where you put them on computers, and the computer just says that's ridiculous, you can't do it. But I played a couple test games, and I played 2 different titled players, and they all just fell for a trap here. So this might be good. This one might be good. And it starts with not knight takes, not this, c6, sacrificing another pawn. And it looks like it scores, at least in the master database, 100%. In the Lichess database, it's about 50-50. But the idea is if they take, we're not taking back right away. We're going to have even more fun with e5. And potentially, we're going to be down 3 pawns. But hopefully, we get a very big initiative. So this is the Gambit, Scandinavian Defense, Kadas Gambit. So if you talk about the Kadas Gambit in the Scandinavian, this is the one that you're talking about. And it's madness. It's so fun. No way this works. Okay, I didn't think so either. And I put it on the computer. I'm like, okay, +2. Stupid. Right? Yeah, it's going to be dumb. But in practice, it seems to work. So it passes 2 tests. It passed the I can beat strong players, master level and below with it. And it passes the everybody on Lichess just falls for it if you play the main line. Because people are just naturally going to take here. This is probably also another big option. Maybe there's all sorts of, these all seem to be like pretty popular. But if you just play the most popular move, black, this seems like the most popular too. Like you don't want to bother, like I don't want to give black any more development. I just want to, open things up, get these queens traded, right? Trading the queens 3 pawns down. But now here comes the question, like how do you get an initiative? And it starts with knight to g4, double attack. Obviously, the most important thing is for white to defend that f pawn. You could, I guess you could try to keep it on. Like, it is a gambit, so I guess you could attempt to keep it on, but this is going to give white more time to develop. I assume either one of these moves is just going to be fine. And the evaluation here is a little bit higher, but okay, you could. This would be maybe another way. But I think you do have an initiative. I think you can play this without minding the queen swap. And here's why. The most obvious way of defending this pawn is going to be to play knight h3. It's just like normal, right? Get the knight out, defend the thing. Now we recapture. So not so bad. Only 2 pawns down. Not so bad. So if king e1, I guess my first thought is that I'm going to be bringing this guy, asking you the same sort of question. I assume it goes something like this, and if you go here, I can play similar, but you've spent a little bit of time with the king. That would be my guess. I'm imagining something like this. And then I'm going to be taking back here. And I just have ideas now of going here. Your king can only defend so many of these pawns. I'm going to get castled queenside. I'm also just on this e-pawn immediately. We can see what the difference is. Computer hates all of that. It's like, come on, just take this pawn. Don't worry about that. Don't worry about that. So c takes might be a big thing. c7 might be an annoying move for white, which thankfully these moves aren't played too often. If here, nothing. Not bad at all. Not bad at all. You better take, like, if you go here and I get this is actually good for black. You've just wasted enough time. I could imagine that being played. What would you guys do here? I guess we can kind of see from your guys' point of view to see if you guys collectively fall for it or not. But I've gone here. You're 2 pawns up. Your king is stranded. I have my knights out in a little bit more menacing places. And I'm about to take your e-pawn. So we saw the first move, the most common move. Which is pawn to f4. Seems obvious, right? Just defend this pawn. Bishop to e3 could be played. If you were going to play this, I think you would probably play it earlier. At minimum, I can take and take. Be a pawn down, but your structure is kind of weird, and I'm going to get this guy out. Ooh, I can imagine a really, really weird structure. Okay, without using the computer. I'm not going to say this is the best, but this would be the funniest. If I take, and then I take... You happy with your structure? I doubt this is the best even. I don't know that I would do this, but that would be the funniest way to continue. Do I take the knight? Okay. So yeah, ignore that. There's probably more ways I can make even more threats, but taking the knight also is pretty decent for me. But yeah, I mean, it's already very tough. I think it's already kind of a little bit tough. But if you go here, because that's like the most obvious way, I think, to defend the pawn. I think that's where most people would go. I go here, and I want to castle and just get this big attack. So what would you guys do in this position? I can see people playing exactly what Delver Flips says. Yes, Delver Flips, I think, maybe has seen the trap all the way to its completion. But the point is, after here, we will castle. And yeah, as pointed out, most people will try to get out of the pin. That's actually the main move here, so we can just double check that everything is what normal people would do. Most people play bishop d3. Most people castle. Most people, by far, do try to get out of the pin. They play king to here, and this is just busted. This is it. So now it's our time to play as black and win. So, and this is the trap that I'm farming for. So it's the most played, and literally 2 people I played in real life that are both like master strength fell for this. So they just kind of walked into it naturally. Knight d4 is definitely the first move. And now, obviously, they're going to play king d2 because they want to keep connection with this and this. So they play king d2, most popular move. Bishop b4 being suggested. I guess whatever your idea is that here you're going to be taking this guy. That's what I'm assuming your idea is. The answer is not bishop b4, although could be a decent move. All right, Till Engelman has spotted it. The absolute strongest move is, boop, just knight takes c2. And this is, white's position just completely falls apart. So this is very nice. So this is what I'm hoping for. I'm hoping to get this trap. And now it's like -8. It's like, you just win. You just win. If they pick this guy back up, oh gosh. You threaten this and like the king can't get out. Like the king can't move. So you're just like, you're dead. You can't get the king out of the pin. So this is what I'm hoping for. So I will be farming I'll be just playing in the pool, hoping to get this against some random viewer. If here, not a bad move. And yeah, I guess your point was if here, I assumed the point was to take this where you can take back. Oh, okay. King e4, obvious move. Okay, and white gets like enough stuff to be not super duper bad. But yeah, knight takes c2 here. Wins. So that's the game. That's what we're doing. I'm going to jump in the pool. So if I'm black, I'm going to play the Scandinavian and hope to get this gambit. Let's get one game with I set this up about 2 hours ago. I was like, here's this awesome variation you can play in the Scandinavian. And I've waited 2 hours for this opportunity. My first Scandi. Now, d4 will lead to all sorts of fun. Yes, okay. All right, here we go. This is what we've been waiting for all stream. Instead of taking back with the knight, I'm playing e5. And this is the Kadas Gambit. Okay, so we will settle down. This is the big moment. And we will see what our opponent comes up with here. Will they fall for the trap? Or will they innovate here? And this is also the first time all day I've been up. Okay. So opponent is daring enough to take another thing. This has to be the move. Followed by here. I'm assuming I still castle. And we've kind of seen that when white does this, sometimes they waste a little bit too much time. But can I justify it? Can I actually prove that I have some compensation here? Now, I want to move this knight. I think that would reveal all sorts of stuff. The opponent sees that, but what if I play here? Kind of expecting this one, because how else do you... Oh, it doesn't prevent it. He lets me take here. Oh, maybe he didn't see it. The bishop was kind of a sniper there. Oh, or he's saying, I play rook b3 here. And who's laughing? Probably me, because I have here. I might just be winning. Might just be winning. Oh, this opening's great. Oh, that's awesome. So this is the one we were farming for, and I got 12 move win. Oh, that's fantastic. The only thing I can kind of see is here, but I take. I can actually analyze now. In this very final position, only logical move I see is here. But after takes, you're not actually trapping my bishop, which would be almost kind of a cool resource for white, because I got this one, and I'm going to get the rook. Oh, but I get to check one off the list. For the first time ever, I actually get to knock it off the list. Kadas. But we don't want this one. We want the Scandi one. We did it! Hey! Link to game. Let's go to the stats. Let's update the stats. 6. Hey! Only 760 left to go!